I want to share a couple of stories with you as a toast to Bryan and Karen. Now, those of you that have known Bryan since he's been born are probably thinking at least one of these stories has got to be about when we were little kids and when we used to fight pretty much every single day of our lives. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to share a quick slideshow with you of some of the weapons we've used throughout the years. You'll notice that our fights probably got pretty creative, and you would be right. So, here you go. Okay, enough about weapons. Those of you that went to school with Bryan are probably thinking at least one of these stories has got to be about girls. Well, I'm not going to do that either. But I also can't just ignore it. So here's another slideshow showing some of the crushes he used to have throughout the years. I think you guys will enjoy this one. Here you go.
Wash out 44 pairs of socks and have them hanging out on the line. I can start to iron 2 dozen shirts before you can count from 1 to 9. I can scoop up a great big dipper full of lard from the drippings can. Throw up the skillet, go out and do my shopping, be back before it melts in the pan.
That was a fun one to put together for me. As I was getting that slideshow together, I started to realize just how special Karen has got to be to win Bryan over without the use of a sword or the ability to crush NFL running backs. So Karen, well done. Welcome to the family. And we're really glad it was you and not Bryan Urlacher. Now on to the stories. My first story is about brothers. From an early age, you were my partner in crime. You were there to see me off on the first day to school, and I think it was tougher on you than it was on me. But then we started going to school together, and things got better. We made wishes together. We dressed up as warriors to save the day on Halloween. Well, as soon as you were old enough to decide you didn't want to be a clown for Halloween, that's more like it. You were there to welcome our cute little Amy into the world, and immediately helped me make sure that she never stood a chance getting any eggs on Easter during our Easter egg hunts. But more than all that, you've always been my buddy. Finding slimy things, wearing itchy dress clothes, to just hanging out. We would follow each other anywhere. You always believed in me so much that I had no choice but to believe in myself. That's a powerful thing. Thank you. But it's also a rare thing, and I see that you found it again. You and Karen have a special bond. For those of you that don't know, Bryan and Karen have known each other for a long time, since the early years of college, and it was pretty obvious to all of the people close to them that they had a good relationship, something strong, something special. But it was also pretty tough for us to figure out what the heck they were. Were they together? Were they just friends? What was going on there? But eventually they would figure it out. My second story is that one day Bryan, Karen, and Karen's good friend Rachel were on a big road trip across the country. They ended up in Portland, and they stopped by to see me. Bryan and I were brushing our teeth one night, and the girls were off shopping or something. It was just Bryan and I, and we Bryan started telling a story, and he got this look in his eye. Some of you might know the look. It's kind of like he's on to something, or he knows he's right. So it's a pretty rare look. It doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then he gets it. And I went back through some pictures to try and find one. just a picture of him with this look, and I had to go back pretty far, but I found one. So here it is. So he gets this look, and he's like, Matt, I kissed her. I was like, inside, I'm like, obviously, I could tell things were going well, but come on, it's been so long. Good job, Bryan. You finally figured it out. And he was just beaming from ear to ear. He told the rest of his story. They were down by his car in a street in Portland, and it happened. And then from there on out, I knew that things were going to start happening fast. And sure enough, here we are, 18 months later, in a castle, getting these two married. And I couldn't be happier for them. They're good for each other.
You fucked it, friend, it's on its head, it struck the street. You're in Milwaukee off your feet. And once I knew I was not magnificent.
So let's raise our glasses and a toast to Bryan and Karen. Here's to blind, stubborn, pure faith. May you always have the strength to follow it together. Cheers.
Cheers.